What's up, homie? Just doing this very short live to inform you all that Instagram, they suggested to me a story which showed these very, very old trees that I guess were still alive, if we believe the science. And they said 4 trees exist in this world, according to them. Of course, they can't find all the trees. Some are elusive. You have to study them in their kind in order to find them. And it said there's only 4 trees in existence that have existed before the birth of Yeshua, but they used the pagan Greek name. Which Jesus means he is silent. That's why they like that name so much. Because if you Hebraize it, Jesus can mean he is silent. Sus can also mean pig. That's why you're supposed to use, why I suggest you use Hebrew, because there's little room for corruption, if any. The other languages, there's too much room for corruption. So they say these trees, these 4 trees, like the 4 corners of the earth, are the oldest living trees, and they existed before the birth in the flesh of Yeshua. So I commented, because they looked very, very old and dry, I just quoted Yeshua, and I put, "Women of Jerusalem, do not weep for me," because as he was being led out to crucifixion, women were weeping for him. And he said, "Women of Jerusalem, do not weep for me, but weep for yourselves." And he said, if they do this while the wood is green, what will they do when the wood is dry? And I put it in quotations and put Yeshua HaMashiach, and then in parentheses, as he was being led out to Golgotha. I have never made that comment anywhere on Instagram, and they immediately took it down and said, it is our rules for spam. So if they allow me to make the post, I'll show you exactly what they put. That I'm trying to spam in order to get likes and false views, or I'm doing something in a misleading way. I have never commented that comment on any post ever. And it's such a coincidence, right? That it's that quote. If they do these things, if they crucify Messiah when the wood is green, what will they do when it is dry? That's what you got to ask yourself. Find out, because everybody who votes everybody who votes for Donald Judas Trump, just like Judas, Satan entered into him. He wasn't even supposed to do it at that time. It was a high Sabbath. It was a high Shabbat. They wanted to do it in absence of a crowd. But when they did Passover, and they all dipped the bread in the same dish of wine, probably a vinegar wine, it said Satan entered in to Judas Iscariot. Mashiach told him, what you are to do, do it quickly. And he left, and nobody knew what he had told him. They're like, maybe he told him to go buy something, or I don't know. They didn't know. He just left. Satan entered into him. So when these people put in their Vox Tav, their mark of a vote, in their voting booth that resembles the Holy of Holies of the temple, that's the usual design, is it's perfectly square with a curtain dividing, and you cast your vote for the false Mashiach every election. And the term of a president just so happens to be the term of Antichrist in Daniel and Revelation. So Shema Bar Hava, he who walks, stands, males in his Vox Tav for Donald, Dan of the earth, Dan's earth, judge of the earth, Dan Ald, Judas, Tarampe, Satan will enter into them, and they will do the will. For what has been proclaimed shall be accomplished. Baruch Hashem Yahweh Shaddai. I'm a bit technically challenged. I'm going to try to find out how to turn this live off. It's funny. Oh, there it goes. Actually, let me do the Shema before I leave. Shema HaYisrael Yahovah Eloheinu Yahovah Echad. Hear, O Israel, Yahovah Elohim, your Elohim is one, because, why? Why? Echad. In the words of Zechariah, as he was being martyred, he said, Yareh Yahovah We'edrosh, which means he does see, Yahovah does take hold and hooks it to the tabernacle and raises it up. As Zechariah was being martyred, he prophetically saw Mashiach. He proclaimed Mashiach's testimony. When Stephanos was being stoned, he said the same thing. I see heaven open. I see Hashemayim Epratha, and I see Ben Adam adjacent to majesty on high. Baruch Hashem Yahweh Shaddai.